A few days back, Netanyahu seemed isolated. Today, he is shattered. There is rage in Israel over the American deal with Iran, and both friend and foe seem to be blaming one man, Netanyahu, for what has become an Israeli nightmare. The war started by Trump at Netanyahu's urging has become the biggest boomerang in Israel's history. Netanyahu's ally, in fact, Itamar Ben-Gvir, the national security minister, has clearly said, "We are not partners to this agreement which does not safeguard our security," quote unquote. And according to the man who will be challenging Netanyahu in the elections this year, Yair Lapid, the deal was shaping up to be one of the most shocking failures in Israel's foreign and security policy, entirely registered in Netanyahu's name, quote unquote. When Donald Trump reportedly verbally abused Netanyahu over a call earlier this month, when he reportedly said without ambiguity that everybody hates Netanyahu, it must have seemed like the low point in a turbulent career for Netanyahu, but it just keeps getting worse for him. And today he stands cornered from all sides. In Israel, where the domestic anger is mounting over the US-Iran deal, and just to make matters worse for him, Donald Trump is making it absolutely clear he's not just unhappy with the Israeli prime minister, he seems ready to have found a better choice, saying in as many words that Syria can do the job if Israel cannot when it comes to Hezbollah. First, listen into what Trump had to say. According to him, there can be no Israel without Donald Trump.
Without the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but now Bibi has to be more responsible.
U.S. President Donald Trump said he suggested to Israel that the Syrian president should deal with Lebanon's Tehran-backed Hezbollah, as the Israeli campaign was causing too many casualties. Not just that, Trump praised the Syrian leader as doing an amazing job, quote unquote. According to Donald Trump, if Israel cannot do the job without killing everyone else, then Syria will do the job. Listen to this.
I'll tell you what, Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody, because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses, and they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you. And I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. Because to be honest with you, I think they do a better job of doing it.
Donald Trump did not mince any words. In fact, he said he is not happy with the way Israel had handled themselves with Lebanon and Hezbollah. And according to him, they should have been able to do the job faster. It seems to have gone beyond seeming like just friction between the two leaders, Donald Trump and Netanyahu. While the two seem to be just about tolerating each other at several points, from what has come out, Trump has tried to now play things down by stressing that he has a great relationship with the Israeli prime minister. Remember, Netanyahu avoided criticizing the US-Iran deal and has claimed that Israel has achieved its main goals in the war by eliminating the quote-unquote existential danger posed by Tehran. But just imagine the heartburn for Netanyahu at a time like this, when his hands are tied, being roasted at home by various leaders who are lashing out at him over the handling of the Iran war. Israel's former prime minister and opposition leader criticizing Netanyahu, questioning if Israel even achieved its goals. Also, is the deal just a band-aid remedy, dealing with the symptoms as of now without actually addressing the root causes of that crisis plaguing West Asia? Also did the stocks of oil in the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve, falling to the lowest since 1983, actually pushed Trump to rush the Iran deal? That's the other question being asked. After all, stocks of crude oil in the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve reportedly fell to 340.3 million barrels. That's the lowest level since 1983. And according to data from the Department of Energy, this is according to that data. Meanwhile, Iran is not holding back. According to state television, Iran's foreign minister has clearly said that the end of the Iran war included the end of Israel's occupation of Lebanon. It also quoted him as saying that Israel's continued occupation of southern Lebanon would violate the MOU reached between the US and Iran. And that, remember, remains one of the key sticking points. Netanyahu has refused to order withdrawal of troops from southern Lebanon earlier, remember. Will the signing of the deal on Friday be more just about optics, a grand ceremony in trademark Trump style without yielding any actual breakthrough going forward? Or will West Asia get long-lasting relief? Remember, as of now, it remains unclear what exactly is a part of that agreement, as it is yet to be released publicly in full. And that brings us to the fundamental question here. The deal might be great in Trump's words, but for how long will it actually last? How many languages do you speak? There's a very interesting reason why I'm asking you this. Have you ever wondered what it takes to speak two languages? How exactly does your brain manage it, and what goes on inside your brain as a result? What if you were told that a single grammatical engine can actually handle multiple languages at once? That's what a new study of bilingual speakers reportedly suggests. The key here, of course, is the grammar, which is the foundation stone of any language. But the grammar rules can be different for languages, of course. The thing is, for long it was theorized that bilingual speakers need to process different languages with separate parts, separate patterns of the brain activity. Now, according to a new study, researchers reportedly found that these patterns were more alike than expected. So it's not all that different inside your head, maybe. The study was published on Monday in the journal Neurosci. Basically, a single grammatical engine in the brain appeared capable of powering multiple languages at once. According to a psychologist and neuroscientist at New York University and an author of the study, reportedly, this is arguably one of the first very fine-grained findings of how truly integrated two languages in the brain really are. And now scientists are probing further, reportedly, to figure out whether core aspects of the brain neural network carry out double or triple duty to process multiple languages. For instance, whether bilingual participants looked at Spanish or English words, the research team reportedly found that patterns of brain activity were roughly the same. The new study also reportedly giving additional evidence that the front left side of the brain was typically involved in processing the grammatical structure of sentences across different languages. There are questions over, for example, how far the findings generalize across language pairs that differ more substantially. The research definitely telling us more about our brain functioning, providing evidence that bilingual speakers rely on shared neural mechanisms, and helping us better understand how our brain interacts with languages. The World Cup had its first big surprise result on Monday as pre-tournament favourites Spain were held by the debutants Cape Verde in their opening match. The goalless draw was historic for many reasons and reflects the unpredictability of this year's tournament as well. The 2010 champions had been expected to cruise past in their Group H opener in Atlanta. Instead, the European champions failed to score as they were held to a draw. Despite enjoying 74% possession and laying siege to the goal, Spain were unable to find a breakthrough against the underdogs. Even the introduction of the bench of Barcelona superstar Yamal could not engineer a goal as such. In fact, the other side were organized defensively in a traditional back five that at times included a midfielder to make it a wall of 6 defenders. They were also buoyed by the performance of the experienced 40-year-old goalkeeper who's been making headlines. Nicknamed the Blue Sharks, in fact, they had never qualified for the World Cup but were boosted in their bid to qualify for the finals after FIFA's expansion of the tournament to 48 teams. A volcanic archipelago of just 525,000 people. They are ranked as 2,000 to 1 outsiders to win the World Cup by several betting websites. Its players and supporters celebrated wildly, of course, after securing that point. A number of other teams earlier tagged as minnows have also made their mark at the World Cup. African champions, Morocco, are now an established elite team and held Brazil to a 1-1 draw last week. Qatar, two-time Asian champions, also held their own against Switzerland in a 1-1 draw, while Saudi Arabia also denied Uruguay an opening win at the World Cup. The Europeans and South Americans remain the favourites, and while no African or Asian team has ever reached the World Cup final, this might just be a different time.